So this is a very exciting interview. Actually, I'm trembling a little bit because I'm standing here with what surely are two giants of our industry who have changed the industry, who have influenced it in so many ways. I don't even know because I wasn't around when you started. Keith from DDB, Hermann. Well, Hermann has always been there. He's always asked people questions.
Hermann is a big creative brand himself.
Yes.
It's Hermann Vaske. Everyone knows Hermann.
So this is Cannes 2011 and everybody is talking about convergence. You've done the film Time Bomb. You know what's going on. Lots of change. Was there always change? Is it actually new that there's something so much changing?
Well, of course, things are always changing. I mean, if they stop changing, they're dead. So you have to have change if you're going to grow and retain the vitality in an organization, in a human being, whatever. You have to change. So I was first here in the late 70s. I was the first American president of the jury in 1984. Jay Chiat made it very easy for me to have a Grand Prix that year with Macintosh, 1984. But then it was only television and press. So it was very simple and only creative people. This year, 500 client organizations, not people. 500 client organizations are here, and some of those clients are actually splitting the entry fee with the agency and help shape the entry. So I think that's a good change, because now if clients are taking creativity seriously, that can only be good. But I think there are 10,000 people here. It's huge. And so yes, it's changed a great deal. What has not changed is the emphasis on ideas. The nature of ideas have changed from television ideas, print ideas, to now include ideas that are multimedia, using the new media, but still about ideas.
Yeah, I can add to that. I think because there's this saying of all things, ideas is first. You know, that was always the case. You know, and will always be the case. There's a quote by Victor Hugo, the French writer. He said, actually, I made a film about it with that title. It's called The Invasion of the Idea, you know. And he said, you can make a stand against an invasion of an army, but you cannot make a stand against an invasion of an idea. Yeah. And you're in the film, by the way, as invasion. We have to send you a copy.
Yeah. Send me the royalty.
It's a royalty. But with the change, maybe if I may, another great writer apart from Victor Hugo is of course Bobby Dylan, you know. And he said, and I think this is more true than ever, you better start swimming because you think like a stone, because the times they are changing, you know. And especially with the digital world coming along, you know, you have to these days be with one foot in technology and the other foot in communication. So that is quite important, I think. But if you have a crap idea is in digital, a crap idea is in the traditional media crap ideas. So definitely Keith's totally right about what you said about the idea.
And in addition to the fact that the need for ideas has not changed, maybe it's greater even now than before, also a few other things have not changed. Human nature has not changed, won't change, and so the ideas that we come up with have to be relevant to the needs of human beings, which haven't changed. And brands, the importance of brands have not changed. Now we have many, many more ways to connect people with brands, but our idea has to do that. And brands also, now across the myriad channels we have to retain integrity. It used to be the brand touch points were the package, the print ad, maybe the television commercial, and then go to the store and find the pack. That was the brand. Now it's on YouTube, it's everywhere on the social media, and it's through all of the media channels. So integrity of brands, and I think those are the three things that we need to say. While everybody's talking about change, we need to say the idea remains important, the importance of brands, and the importance of understanding human nature.
Yeah, with YouTube and millions of people can immediately say whether what you've done is great or it's total crap. You know, that's right. But human nature has not changed. I agree from the days of the caveman. You know, if you look at the paintings and the caveman things here in France, you know, you see the mammoths or some other animals or brands, you know, and you know whatever was their visual communication to make you go out and hunt.
You know, you just reminded me of maybe one other thing that hasn't changed. When you mentioned cavemen, they were telling stories on those walls, and no one has yet improved upon storytelling as a way of communicating. So the importance of storytelling maybe hasn't changed.
It's like with a good commercial, you know. It's like telling old stories around a campfire, you know. Exactly. This campfire mentality, and you need a great story.
And then people see that story and they say, "Oh, did you see the story about?" And then now they put it on YouTube, and now everybody can share in this story, and it's the campfire has grown much larger.
Yeah.
Let's assume you're just starting. 2011, you're looking for that first job, and you kind of figured out it's got to be something with communication. Where would you go? What would you do? And what do you think is important for those people starting out now?
Well, I would go into this business, which is still being referred to as the advertising business. It's probably going to evolve as the festival has evolved now. It's a celebration of creativity. But I would go to join one of the agencies, which they're still called, or organizations that are really focusing on ideas. And I would also not go to somebody that's focusing on digital, because I think digital is last century. And what we should do now is go beyond that and say, what's the idea? And you have here in Cannes, you have some amazing examples of ideas which have transcended any thought of digital or old or new, just great idea. So I would want to join somebody who's doing that. I mean, I would know some names of them, but that would be a commercial. So then I also would say, in answer to your question, what is needed? What is needed right now, in my opinion, is less emphasis on technology and more emphasis on content. We did not, in the last century, go running around talking about the analog age. And even when we talked about television age from time to time, it was about content. And we should be concentrating on content. So I would say to the young me, the mini me, who's about to get into the advertising business again, okay, study people, study new combinations of images and words and ideas, and how you can connect those ideas with human beings. There are plenty of people who can figure out technically how you can do this, and be endlessly curious. Learn everything you can about everything you can. And that knowledge will spur ideas, and you will become famous, or mini-me will become famous.
Yeah, definitely. I would send mini-me to a place where the idea is first, where definitely content, where stories are first, you know. And I think what's totally dangerous these days is that some people say digital or YouTube, or what they used to say, Apple Mac is the idea, which is total rubbish. Apple Mac is not the idea, YouTube is not the idea, and Twitter is not the idea, only the idea is the idea, you know. And I mean, we had this endless discussion form between the form and the content, you know, the Bauhaus principle. And these days it's unfortunately often put upside down, you know. And
I agree with that.
Yeah, and a lot of youngsters, they say they jump on the technology and they think the technology and all the gimmicks are the idea. The gimmicks are the gimmicks. So fuck the gimmicks and long live the idea.
Exactly. And what we see now, and so at least I observe this in our industry as it stands today, we're going through a transition. And so you have the technical guys over here who don't think about the idea, and then you have the old creative guys who don't want to learn about the new media. So it's evolving. It will be wonderful.
Dream or reality?
Well, what I think should be is dream, always. What I think is reality is the current state.
Structure or culture?
Culture trumps structure every time. I mean, the stronger the culture, the less need for structure. And the opposite is true. If there is no culture, then you have to have structure and boxes reporting to boxes and so forth. So culture is the most important thing to create.
Process or end result?
Well, I don't even think in terms of end result, because it's always a process. It's a continuing process. It's not an ending. I never think in terms of. That's a very interesting question. I actually never think of the end. I think of what Duke Ellington, the jazz pianist, said when somebody said, "Why aren't you good at writing endings to your song?" He said, "Because I'm always in the state of becoming." And that's the way I think about it. So I actually never thought about whether it's more important to have the end product. I would not ever see an end.
First mover or early adopter?
Early adopter. I mean, I thought Malcolm Gladwell said it very well the other day. You don't want to be first, you want to be third. Think of, in the search area, Alta Vista. Remember Alta Vista? Then what came? Linux or something like that? And then Google. And the example of Xerox PARC, which invented everything about the computer. They invented the computer mouse, they invented graphic interface. Then Steve Jobs at age 24 came and said, that's a good idea. And Xerox never realized. So I'd say of the choice, first mover or early adopter, I would say implementer. Implementer, tweaker, implementer. Picasso told us, talent borrows, genius steals. I like that.
Improve the old or create all new?
Well, I don't think that's a choice. I think you take the elements of the old, and there are many, that are still relevant, and you make them entirely new.
Cannes in 3 words. For you, what's Cannes in 3 words?
A celebration of creativity.
Don't be boring.
Thank you so much.
And Cannes is not boring.
The 3 words. Okay. Thank you.